You ever see that movie Doctor Strange?
It's very good.
You know how he has that cape that helps him out?
Yeah, the magical cape that has sentience.
Yeah. It's this magical cape, and every time he's in trouble, this magical cape comes and helps him out because he's a good dude, and the cape likes what he's doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can kind of do that for this show.
What? You could be our magical cape?
You could be our magical cape and help us keep the show going and help us grow the show. To find out how, go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns.
Be our magical cape.
How do you recommend that to somebody wholeheartedly?
Well, that's why we would like to ask everybody to up their Patreon pledge.
This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
I'm going to ask you, Anthony, about apologizing.
I will apologize, but I will not take off my sunglasses.
Please?
No. I will apologize, but I will not take off my sunglasses.
But that's not a true apology if you're still doing the thing you apologized for.
Nope. Sorry. There, I did it.
All right. You did. That didn't really feel authentic.
It wasn't.
Or sincere.
You gave no parameters for the apology.
What is the
I'm sorry, you can't communicate your needs.
That's not an apology.
That's what it's like to be married to me.
Is there something that you have ever done that you apologized for years later? What's the longest you've gone between doing something and apologizing for it?
Well, Jeff, when I was 19 years old.
It was a very good year.
No, it was a very bad year. 19 years old. I got a DUI.
Yeah.
I got a DUI and I was put in court-ordered AA and NA meetings.
Okay.
And during that time, I found out that, I had a bit of an addictive personality, and I was definitely somebody who, while probably not a lifelong addict, had been living my life for a couple years as an addict, and had done some really shitty things to people. And so part of that is making amends.
Yeah.
And so there was a year where I was apologizing for some really terrible shit that I had done to people.
And you hadn't done recently. That had been a while.
It had been a couple of years, in a lot of cases.
So how did that go? What was that like going up to somebody that probably had an opinion of you that was colored by that thing that happened years ago?
You know, here's what I've found. It's more for you than for them. Because at that point, even if you truly do mean it, and I think you do when you get into that place, the person, they probably remember it. It probably hurt them. It probably colored their opinion of you.
Mm-hmm.
Your apology in most cases will feel like, okay, well, I'm glad you apologized, but like, it's been forever.
Yeah. I'm over it by this point.
Either I'm over it or I've integrated it so much into my opinion of you that your apology can't possibly change the way I think about you at this point.
Yes.
The apology is good, and it's a good step. Apologizing is hard for a lot of people. Apologizing should be very easy. Apologies should flow like water.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that. Like,
without diminishing.
Yes, of
what
course.
they
But
are.
if you do something wrong to somebody, there are a lot of people who just like one of the things that I find the most about people is they're very defensive about apologizing. They want to double down.
Yeah.
As opposed to just saying like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, I fucked that up.
Oh my God. Yes.
So
I've experienced that a lot.
Yeah. So I think like it's good to get into the habit of apologizing and doing that sort of thing where you apologize for things you've done years ago, especially if they're hard for you to admit, makes that easier for you. But that's a first step. Once you apologize to somebody for something you've done years ago and they've already figured out how they feel about you, it's then like actions that follow the apology that can actually make change.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going with this, but that's my feelings on apologies.
Well, I appreciate that. We got a story sent to us by Susan Powers. She sent this to wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com.
Thanks, Susan.
This is a story about a fellow by the name of Nick Burchell, who 17 years ago, back in 2001, did something that got him into a lot of trouble. And he apologized.
Teen DUI?
No.
Because I know how that goes.
He apologized for it 17 years later. Let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
In 2001, he was traveling to the Fairmont Express Hotel in Victoria, British Columbia for a business meeting. He was all very excited about visiting that part of British Columbia because there was one of his favorite eateries in the area.
Okay.
A place called Brothers Pepperoni. There's a delicatessen that was famous for Brothers Pepperoni. He picked up a suitcase full of Brothers Pepperoni.
Okay. So this is not like the slices of pepperoni like on a pizza. This is like the sausage shaped, like big tubes
giant
pepperoni.
Yeah, he's bringing home a suitcase full of this
fucking
stuff.
Real ass deli butcher
going
pepperoni.
in for it. Yeah. He's not going to get back here anytime soon. Got to stock up on that sweet Brothers Pepperoni.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. So he goes back to his hotel room. Fuck, there's no fridge in this hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want
what am I going to do with all of this pepperoni?
I got all this pepperoni. I got to eat 16 pounds of pepperoni.
I better put on this napkin and get it to work.
No. So he decides in order for he's got to go to this business meeting. He's got clients waiting for him.
Yeah.
In order to make sure this pepperoni doesn't go bad, he's going to open the suitcase. Mm-hmm. It's British Columbia. Fucking cold outside. Yeah. He's going to open the window, put the pepperoni on the table right next to the window. It'll stay cold, just like a refrigerator.
Oh,
easy peasy lemon squeezy.
The pepperoni fell out of the window and crushed a baby.
It was baby parade day.
Oh, God.
Which is never a good day to put your pepperoni next to a window.
No, that's what they say. It's in the pamphlet, but he wasn't from there.
No, he didn't know. He didn't read all the brothers documentation that they give you.
I mean, when he was checking in, they told him at the front desk, like, oh, sir, you came at a great time. The baby parade is happening, but he wasn't paying attention because it was a long flight. And he was just like letting
all the brothers are like, it's a baby to parade.
He was just letting everybody go through their spiel. You know?
I just want your pepperoni. Put it in my suitcase.
Oh boy, if only he had heeded the warnings. It was the Ides of pepperoni.
No, what actually happened was a large flock of seagulls, not the band.
Okay.
Actual seagulls.
Kids, ask your parents.
Were drawn to the irresistible aroma of Brothers
Pepperoni.
I mean, come on. That's what they say.
Seagulls love it, TM.
Yeah. It brings the seagulls to the yard.
There's a seagull on the fucking bag, Nick. And it's a seagull, and he's got the little Italian chef's hat and the red ascot, and he's like, seagulls are going to love this pepperoni.
It's the seagull standing right in front of the baby parade. Yeah. That's the logo.
The grand marshal of the baby parade is always the Brothers Pepperoni Seagull.
Joe Seagull, they call him.
It's not a great name. Could have gone for alliteration. Could have gone for Italian. Could have gone for putting pepperoni in the name.
No.
It's Joe Seagull.
Joe Seagull.
You know why? Because these are honest, working class people. They don't have time for this frippery. They just want to have a baby parade. A simple... No frippery. Just a plain... simple, working class baby parade.
Nothing worse than a baby parade with frippery.
I hate when a baby parade has too much pageantry. Just line the babies up, put them in their costumes.
Just give me
put
babies.
Put them on the floats that are made of flowers.
I want a row of babies, and I want them marching down the street.
Come on. I got to get back to work. I'm hard.
This pepperoni's not going to make itself.
I'm a hard-working, working class man. I got 30 minutes to watch the baby parade. None of the frippery.
No. Cut it out. Okay. So what actually happened was the flock of seagulls, drawn to the irresistible aroma of the Brothers Pepperoni, entered the hotel room, and they ate a bunch of the Brothers Pepperoni, a large amount of it. And here's the thing about Brothers Pepperoni.
They left 2 whole Brothers Pepperoni out of respect.
Well, that's right. These seagulls know what's going on.
Listen, this guy, the pepperoni's in a suitcase. He obviously came a long way. Leave him 2 pepperonis.
The seagulls always said, 1 for me, 1 for Joe.
It's like when a guy steals your camera on the street and you go, just let me have the SD card. I got my vacation photos on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's called honor among thieves.
That's what it's called.
Honor among seagulls. Same thing. Here's the thing about Brothers Pepperoni that they don't tell you on the brochure. Does not react well with seagull digestive systems.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear is right.
Luckily, the seagulls just ate and then immediately flew back to the water, right? They lined up in an orderly line on the fire escape, and one at a time would slice a piece off of the pepperoni, take it in their mouth, and then fly back to the water.
Right,
Easy peasy.
As seagulls do.
Yeah.
No, it turns out
The most orderly of birds.
they had sort of what you might refer to as an eating orgy.
Oh dear.
In the hotel room, followed very quickly by explosive diarrhea orgy.
Listen, that's the part they don't tell you about these sort of like Roman bacchanalias, okay? Everybody's eating, drinking, fucking, but listen, they got digestive systems just like anybody else.
That's right.
That's why they created the vomitorium, my dudes.
Yeah, it's adjacent to the explosive diarrheatorium.
Yeah, they don't talk about the diarrheatorium.
No, you don't want to go there.
But it was there.
It was part of the Roman structure.
Okay.
So birds eating, flapping, smashing. Once the word got out to the seagull community, more seagulls arrived.
Oh, sure.
Explosive poop everywhere.
I'm going to this hotel party with a lot of pepperoni. Oh, dude, can I come? I don't know. He said not to bring anybody.
You know what? It's cool. Let's just.
You know what? Just okay. Just one. Like,
what about my brother? Can my brother come? And he's got like 2 friends that he wants to bring.
Oh my God.
And they have girlfriends.
Okay, but like no one else, okay?
Yeah, no, I promise. And those girlfriends have like 3 other friends that they want to bring, but that means girls for you.
Okay. Well, I mean, like that's obviously the ratio is important, right? Like, he's not going to care because the ratio.
I'm tweeting about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're birds.
It's a tweet joke.
Yep.
And
I felt dirty.
An amount of shit that no respectable hotel employee should ever be required to clean up. I mean, it was just wall to wall bird feces.
And did he do what I would have done? What I would have done was I would have come in, would have closed up my suitcase, zipped it up, taken it into my hand, quietly done the automatic checkout. And just like, look, I know how I left it. You know how I left it. My credit card is on file. I just, please don't make me face this.
Yeah. He said, actually, he recalls.
No reason you and I should stand eye to eye while I tell you, listen, I need to check out. And also I let 100 seagulls shit all over the room. So
I'm sorry, I didn't get that last bit.
I let 100 seagulls shit all over the room. They came in and they shit all over the room. So
seagulls?
Just seagulls. They came in and they.
How do you even get 100 seagulls?
I opened up the window and I had some of that delicious Brothers pepperoni.
Ah, it's so good.
It's so good.
The one with the seagull on the
seagull
bag.
On the bag, and that should have been my warning. And I'm not local. I'm not from here. Obviously, I'm staying in a hotel. But I just listen. My credit card's on file. Could we please not discuss this anymore?
What's the limit on that credit card?
Well, a lot of money.
We're going to need a second credit card.
Why? How do you know? You haven't even looked at the room yet.
Going to need a second credit card on that file.
This tells me that this happens more often than I think.
It's a very common occurrence here. Here's some of his firsthand recollection of what happened. He said, what I did not realize was that seagulls also drool, especially when they eat pepperoni. So
that's a spicy seagull.
Drool, feces, pepperoni, feathers, smashed glass.
Sounds like college, am I right? High five.
That's a great night. He said when he walked into the room,
smashed glass.
He recalled,
because they're flapping around, they're fighting over.
Exactly.
I don't think I was appropriately picturing.
Well, that's why I'm painting a picture for you.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you, I wasn't seeing like. Now that I'm thinking about like
you assumed they were this orderly progression of birds that are sharing a pepperoni together.
No, they're like crowded around it, and they're definitely like pecking at it.
You saw some sort of Lady and the Tramp pepperoni moment where they like maybe slowly
one
kiss.
Of them found true love. I don't know. Maybe I want the best for seagulls. Is that so wrong, Jeff?
No,
I'm sorry. There, I said it.
Oh, good. That doesn't sound authentic either.
No, but now I'm remembering, like, if there's a sandwich on a pier.
Yeah.
How, like, what a fucking nightmare it is.
Right.
With, like, seagulls attacking each other and swooping and flapping.
Now imagine them in a confined space so they can't get out.
That's very funny.
Right?
That is a very good image.
He says that when he walked back into the room, he startled the birds. They immediately started flying around and crashing into things as they desperately tried to leave the room.
Oh, shit, he's here.
The result, he says.
That's not, he knows it's not our pepperoni. Dude, no, it was like, and everybody flies away. He's like, dude, I told you not to bring anybody. Oh, shit.
And then one seagull comes out of the bathroom.
Oh, hey, man. Are you Nick?
Yeah.
Cool. Great party, man. Thanks for having us. I'm gonna take off. Do you want me to leave you any money for the pepperoni?
Yeah, I want you to leave me a lot of money. Maybe a credit card?
No, I'm a fucking bird. So I'm just gonna fly away. You're an idiot. I was just being polite. I was clearly just being polite. I'm
going to take the rest of this pepperoni with me.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to shit one more time.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a good one, bro.
He says the result was a tornado of seagull excrement, feathers, pepperoni chunks, and fairly large birds whipping around the room. Lamps were falling. Curtains were trashed. Coffee tray was just disgusting.
Sure. There's nothing seagulls love more than a nice coffee. You get a little espresso after your pepperoni.
That's right. That's the Italian seagull way. And also the energy that you get after you get a little caffeine in those seagulls.
Woo! Woo! So did he just walk away like I would have?
No, he went down, and what happened was the staff of the hotel, the manager of the hotel, said, you check out now, you leave, and you never come back. You are lifetime banned from our fine establishment.
Fair. Tough, but fair.
You take your pepperoni and you GTFO, and I will never see your face again.
Fair. Yeah.
And he took that as any person who just went through a tornado of seagull excrement would, like a man. And he left.
Can I tell you, I'm picturing like the manager saying this in a close up that's kind of just like pushing in on the manager slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts 180 degrees to our man, Nick, standing there, hat on, covered in feathers. Right? Like maybe I'm picturing like Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Covered in feathers and bird poop on his overcoat. And he's holding like a scuffed up leather bag. And he just like, and like one feather comes out of his mouth. And he literally says, fair.
Yeah.
And turns around and walks away.
That's good. That's a good scene. Yes. So.
And he never came back.
Well, that's where the story gets interesting. Because none of this has been interesting thus far.
No. Thank God.
17 years pass.
And it turns out one of those seagulls was pregnant.
What was Nick really doing in that room?
I don't know, but like a seagull showed up on his windowsill with his eyes.
Yeah. 17-year-old seagull with Nick's eyes.
That's how science works.
And a love for pepperoni.
This, by the way, in case you were unaware, this is a science podcast. Go on.
17 years later, he goes back to the hotel. He walks in. Hasn't been there 17 years. Walks in, walks straight up. He says, "Can I talk to the manager?" Manager comes down. Different manager.
Of course, it's been 17 years.
He recounts the story. The manager says, "Oh, I've heard that story."
We thought this was fake.
Everybody here has heard that story.
We thought it couldn't be real.
Wait, go get Rhonda.
The seagull guy is here.
She's been working here 20 years. She remembers 17 years ago. Get her back down here. Rhonda was like, "Oh yeah, I remember.
This fucking
guy. He says, "I just want to sincerely apologize to everyone here." And they accepted his apology, comped him a room. Comped him a room.
No.
Let him stay. They lifted his lifetime ban.
Well, at that point, 17 years later, it's not something that fucked up literally not just your work day, but like they could, if that room was booked out after him, they couldn't use it. What if the hotel was full? Like this was something remodeling, probably renovations to that room.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sure everything. It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. But 17 years later.
This is time heals all things.
It's an amazing urban myth about this hotel.
That they just got confirmation of because the dude walked through the door.
If I was that guy.
Still with feathers on him and that hat.
Yeah, whatever ancient fucking person who had worked there for as long as that had told me the story. And I was like, okay, cool story. If that person had walked in, if Nick had walked in, I would have been like, holy shit, guys, this is the seagull guy.
Yeah.
From the stories.
From the stories that none of you believed, but are fucking true.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And you know what else Nick did?
Comping makes sense.
You know what else Nick did?
Left a bunch of pepperoni on the windowsill.
No, he gifted
For the children of those seagulls?
For his child.
For his
he gifted the entire front office staff there, the front desk staff, some Brothers pepperoni.
Hey, your hotel room's comped. You can probably afford to give pepperoni to more than just like the top line staff.
Yeah.
Nick. I'm just saying, if it's been 17 years and you have a sincere apology and you get a free comped room, why don't you take that money that you had budgeted to that room? Get a little pepperoni for everybody. Because let me tell you something. It wasn't the management who had to clean that fucking bird shit when you left 17 years ago.
And it certainly wasn't this group of
It was the
jokers.
Housekeepers.
Yeah.
It was the
poor
floor
Rhonda.
staff. It was poor Rhonda.
She did not forgive.
You don't just hand a pepperoni to the manager. You hand a fucking pepperoni to everybody in a uniform in that fucking hotel.
That's right.
Nick, apologize for your apology and do it better next time.
Yeah, he says now that he's made friends with one of the managers there, and he's made it quite clear I'm encouraged to stay with them. So, story has a happy ending, and I wonder what the reason we went through this entire tale.
What's the reason we went through this?
Well, I wonder how you feel about, like, okay, time heals all things, different group of people. Very easy for the new manager to say, oh, no skin off my nose.
Yeah.
You know, very easy for the new manager to say, apology accepted.
This is like if this is what this is like, Jeff. It's like if I did something wrong to you and then 20 years later, if I did something wrong to you, which I never have and never will, everything I do is correct and the ends justify the means.
I think those
says that on my welcome mat, and you know that.
Two statements are in tension with one another.
No. Once again, you're wrong. Apologize to me. This is like if I had done you wrong in some way. 17 years later, I knock on your door. You don't live there anymore, and I say to you, "Hey, the last guy that lived here, I really fucked up his day, right. And I'm sorry about that. Are we cool?
Yeah, we're super cool.
Great.
You want to come in and stay on my couch?
Yeah, sure." What he didn't even apologize to the right people.
That's right. That's kind of true. You apologized in the right location.
Great. If you've ever done somebody wrong, go back to that place and whisper to a falling leaf that you're sorry.
Yeah.
Whether that person is there or not.
That leaf has to accept your apology.
I'm sorry. And then it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what making amends is all about.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say?
No, I think that was pretty much it. I just wondered if you thought that was legit. Does it undermine the lifetime ban if some other manager can be like, I undo the lifetime? Do you think there's some former retired manager of this hotel who's like, motherfucker, I said lifetime?
At one time I was lifetime banned from a Toys R Us.
And now Toys R Us's don't exist.
Yeah, so like I can walk into that abandoned building anytime I want.
Woohoo!
But no, also like I went back to that same Toys R Us 10 years later, and when I walked in, I was like, I felt like a little weird, and then I was like, why would I feel weird about this? There's no such thing as a lifetime ban from a Toys R Us.
Is the reason you got lifetime ban from the Toys R Us because you DOI'd your car right into the side of the Toys R Us?
Right into the Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And I was like, take this, fucking Jeffrey.
You've been after Jeffrey's ever since. I get it now.
He makes, every Jeffrey. I look at you, I just see a fucking giraffe, which is one more fucking giraffe to be dealt with. I don't know. I think there is no statute of limitation on apologies. I think you should absolutely apologize. I think he should have apologized when he was checking out. It blows my mind that he didn't.
Well, I'm sure he apologized, but I wonder. It feels a little bit like the guy who gets a lifetime sentence, and then the parole board, he's just like, I'm contrite, and they're like, okay, you've served your time. Like, no, lifetime means lifetime, doesn't it?
What is what you're getting at, that you think they should be more vindictive at the Seagull Hotel?
No, I don't know. No, I think it's nice. I like the idea that there was a positive resolution about this, but man, I guess I like the idea that more people should apologize. Yes, apologize. It shouldn't take him 17 years to go back in there and apologize.
Certainly not.
But maybe he was like checking up on who was working and who was not. And the last guy finally retired.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, time to apologize.
Coming back every year, and he was like, one day I'll get back here. I'm going to lay out 20 pepperoni. Anyway, do you find it hard to apologize? Are you somebody that has to kind of force themselves to apologize? Does it come easy to you? Are you an over-apologist?
Yeah, and how long is the longest it's been between doing something wrong and apologizing for it?
Let us know on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And you can hashtag those Joe Seagull. And hey, go buy some shit from us.
Yeah, we sell shit.
Yeah, go to wehaveconcerns.com/shop and go buy some shit. We got some new shit. We've got an Outer Spain NASA mission hoodie. from the most dangerous mission of all to outer Spain.
If you've ever investigated outer Spain, you know it is not for the faint of heart. And now you can be a person that shows how not faint your heart is.
Yeah, be a poser. Pretend you went to the harshness of outer Spain. WeHaveConcerns.com/shop.